Southern Metalworks is the stop for deals on pre-engineered metal buildings, pole barn kits, and all metal building components. Financing is available. Southern Metalworks, Highway 51, Southeast Bogue Chitto. Call 601-734-3999.
Buy dirt, find one you can't live without.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Buying Dirt. Keith, how are you this morning? Good.
I'm buying dirt, man.
You need to be buying dirt for sure. Been trying to talk Keith into buying a big old lakefront property with
1,000
fishing
acres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He won't do it.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
We have a special guest with us today, Mr. Bruce Davis. Bruce, are you with us?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Yeah, man. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing wonderful, sir.
Well, good.
Bruce,
go ahead, Keith.
Bruce is a good friend of mine. We go back several years. We used to work together at a local sawmill here, and people got aggravated listening to us sitting around talking about hunting all the time and everything. They just got sick of it. And then I helped him and his wife buy their house they're living in now, and we just developed a good friendship over the years and love to hunt.
Yes, sir.
Well, Bruce, we wanted to have you on today. Of course, everybody listening knows deer season just ended.
Yes, sir.
Just at the end of January, and but we know that some of us had a terrible season, Keith.
Some of us did,
but some of us was very successful, and we wanted to have Bruce and Keith on the show to share their successes with us. So, Keith, I'm going to turn it over to you. Let you talk to Bruce.
Bruce, I'm going to kind of let you talk first because, you and I we not email, but text message each other a lot because where we're hunting at, you are about 2 or 3 miles north of where I do my hunting at, right?
Exactly.
And you started sending me some pictures of
yes, sir.
of a good buck that you were getting on your game camera. And it looked real close to a buck that we were having on our game camera. Of course, we know that deer move a lot. Mm-hmm. And
yes,
there's channels you and I have talked for years, even back in the days when we were working together at the sawmill, that we knew those deer were moving up and down that railroad track. And from your property where you were hunting to our property. And you sent me a picture of a fine buck. And what did I tell you?
He's going to end up on my end when the season starts. When our rut start up.
I said, you better get him before he comes south.
And the thing about it was, I was in his core bed area. I had him every morning, every evening, all night long.
So you were seeing him a good bit.
They like pictures, everything. Just wasn't in the stand at the time.
And I just happened on him. But you also had a picture. You got a property a little farther north in Copiah County that you were hunting on, and I'd never set foot on that property. And of course, it'd be a pretty good hunt for a deer to come down to ours from there. But you had a real successful hunt. I think I got mine on January the 9th, and you got yours on January the 11th.
Yes, sir.
You want to tell us a little bit about that hunt? Just tell us how all that transpired and what happened in that hunt.
Well, I want to say thank you, first of all, to a guy named Chad. He had a blood dog that came out and helped me assist finding a deer. Mm-hmm. But it was a long day. It started out a late morning hunt and sitting there all morning, never seen anything. And right at about 10:30, 11-ish or so, and I seen a little doe easing up through there, and I looked behind her, and I thought it was just a little okay buck. And he never would come out, and he just stayed behind her, and they eased down through a draw and made a shot on him, and we ended up recovering him. And I'll have to get Keith to get a official score on him for me. But he's an older deer. I'm going to get Keith to age him out for me as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw a picture of him, Bruce. He's a fine buck. How many inches wide was that deer's rack?
He was right at 20 inches. He was 19 3/4.
Yeah. Good heavy horn.
Yes,
tall
he was
tines.
A pretty buck. And you were thinking at first, when you look at him, you think, well, he's not that big one I had pictures of. But then I got to looking at the pictures, and we saw that he had a broken tine. I believe it was on the right side, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
And I said, that's your big boy, because look at that broken tine. I see the broken tine in the camera pictures that you've been sending me. So,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But it's just interesting to me that, seeing these pictures that you were getting and sending to me, we both within 2 days managed to get those 2 deer.
Exactly.
So let me back up. So the deer that Bruce was getting on camera was the deer that you ended up killing.
I
Keith,
ended
is
up
that right?
killing.
Yeah, about 3 miles down the road.
Yep. So tell us about your deer, Keith.
Well, it was one of those days that I did nothing according to what I normally do.
You broke all the rules.
I broke all the rules. But it was a hot day. The wind was coming out of the south. It was storming. There were thunderstorms everywhere.
It was raining. It was actually a steady rain.
Raining. I sit on the stand and saw several rain showers come through while I was sitting in the stand. Fortunately, we've got shooting houses, but I was sitting there over a food plot, and I thought, oh, gosh. And the stand I was headed to, the wind would have been in my face, blowing from the deer the way it should have been.
Right.
But I changed my mind. I went to this particular stand where the wind would be at my back.
Yeah, you told me you were walking down the little road heading to that stand. And you just stopped. You just stopped and kind of hesitated and said, "No, I'm gonna turn around and go back this way."
I think the good Lord pecked me on the shoulder and said, "Go around and go to that other one." And
yes,
I did. I went and got on it, and I sit there and stand most of the afternoon just watching the storms come and go. Not much happened. Then about 10 till 4, I had a little 4-point walk out in the back. I said, yeah, he's going to win me. And sure enough, he stepped out in the back, threw his nose up, and kind of looked my way, and then casually stepped off in the back of the
He did what they always do, don't they? Yeah.
in the food plot, and was gone. I said, well, I'm excited. I saw a deer with the wind at my back, which is unusual.
That's right.
About 10 minutes later, I got a text message that a good friend of mine that had been in ill health had passed away.
Yeah.
And I immediately picked the phone up, sitting in my deer stand, and called my wife, because I go to church with the man, and telling her about it, and we probably talked for 10 minutes
Right.
on the phone. It's just like I'm talking right now. And you don't want to do that on a deer stand either.
Right.
So, and my wife said, well, are you getting down? I said, well, I've got till 5:45 to legal shooting lights over with. I said, I'm going to sit here. Well, in the meantime, I had seen a tree had fallen across that driveway coming into camp, and I thought, well, I've got to cut that out before I go. So I sit there, and it got to be about 5:15, nothing. About 5:25, I thought, I've got to go cut that tree out. I'm not going to see a deer.
Right.
I started packing my things up to get ready to walk back up to the camp, and picked my binoculars up one last time to look down there. And what did I see but this 17.5-inch rack come walking out. Of course, I didn't know it then. I just knew that's a good buck.
Right. Yeah. People ask the question, how do I know whether I need to shoot that deer or not? When you first see it, you can tell where you need to shoot it.
You can tell. I said, and I thought,
if you have to talk yourself into it, it's not the one you need.
And
to
I said, okay. I said, all right, turn sideways, turn. And he took about one step to the side, and I took an angling shot. Not a shot I like to take much, but I kept thinking, he's going to win me.
Yeah, just like the other one.
And turn around and be gone.
Yeah.
But anyway, I dropped him. When he hit the ground, I could see the rack sticking up over the grass. I said, oh, yeah, it was worth the shot. But one of those days that everything just seemed to fall into place, and I just thank the good Lord for it every day, And
yeah. Well, congratulations.
And that was your bigger deer, right?
That was the largest Mississippi buck that I've killed larger bucks in Texas, a couple of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the largest Mississippi buck, and I green scored him myself, which I'm not that proficient at it. I green scored him at about 131 and 6'8", something like that.
Good, respectable buck.
And he weighed 190 pounds and was 5.5 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Well, congratulations to both of y'all.
Yes, sir.
Bruce, tell us a little bit about your story in terms of how you got started hunting and what this deer means to you. And I think I talked to Keith about it. He said that you've been practicing quality deer management the last just recent years.
Yes, yeah. Keith, I did been doing it a little while before I met Keith, but overall, Keith kind of taught me some things for the growth and development of deer. And from then on, this probably been going on for the last 15 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
And it's worth it. The quality that you end up coming up with, and everybody that I hunt with, we follow the same rules. So it helps the property out a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, shucks.
It's good to hear. I know Keith and I have been volunteering with the National Deer Association for many years, and it's really good to hear a success story because you don't always hear that, right, Keith? You don't always hear that. So it's good when people put those practices into play and then see results down the road. And the thing is, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, but it does happen. And Bruce, that deer you killed was a fine buck.
Yeah,
as good as any deer in the state of Mississippi.
I believe you
and
told
we
me.
ended up shooting another buck around the same property that was a decent buck that was running with the buck that Keith shot.
Right.
Yeah, we
we
had
ended up getting
seen
two
some
decent
pictures
bucks
of
out
another
there.
one. So we're hopeful for next year.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
But we've, I mean, the whole thing is learning to age those deer on the hoof.
Yeah. And, that's the value of having trail cameras, especially these cell phone cameras, which I bought one for the first time this year. That's been very helpful because you can get a good inventory of what's there. But you realize if you start looking at those pictures, if you see a really good buck that's, say, 130 inches and it's about 3.5 years old, well, that's the deer that a year from now or 2 years from now is going to be that 150 to 160 class. And everybody says, well, I can't shoot, or we can't grow a 150 class deer on our property. Well, the truth is you can. You just killed it when it was 130 inches, when it was that 2.5, 3.5-year-old deer. All it needs is a little more time. And that's easier said than done, right,
Well,
guys?
and the whole thing is, a lot of people will tell you that, well, I don't shoot that deer when he's 2.5, and he might be a 115, 120 class deer, that if I don't shoot him, somebody else is going to shoot him. Well, somebody on the other side of the fence may shoot him, but they can't get them all.
No, they can't get them all. And think about how many times over the years, guys, you've gotten pictures of deer. Maybe you've even, well, for me, I've gotten tons of pictures of really mature bucks, but I've never actually laid eyes on that deer in the flesh. I get tons of pictures.
Right.
But a picture it's a picture, right? It's another thing to actually see it during daylight hours. And that's the trick. It really is a small miracle in a way that you even run across one to even have a chance at it. And then, of course, you got to capitalize on that chance.
I believe you told me that one of the guys that you hunt with, so, well, I'm glad Keith got him.
Yeah, he did. But that's what my buddy said. He said, I'm glad Keith got him. If anybody would have got him, I'm glad it was Keith. We all kind of hunted the same. He came to one of y'all functions with me.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
Okay.
Well, look,
buddy that was on he that was the one that said he's glad you got him.
Well, we're still trying to get y'all on the committee, so the invitation still stands. Well, look,
but that's one of my biggest Mississippi bucks myself, and the rest of my bucks that I have average around 125 to 130, and he's bigger than them, so.
Yeah, I want to get a score on see what.
Yeah, I bet that deer will go 140 or better, probably close to 145. He's a fine buck, and I'm going to try to share those pictures on our social media pages, United Country and Integrated Realty. So I'll share those photographs.
That's no problem.
They're good deer, and congratulations to both of y'all.
And you know what we got coming up? We were kind of incredulous this year. Usually we see a lot of turkey sitting on a deer stand. And we have not seen, we saw one turkey during the whole hunting deer season. Well, all of a sudden the deer season has ended. We're beginning to get turkeys popping in on game cameras.
Isn't
I
that
believe
funny?
you sent me some too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep, it's that time of year, getting close to it.
Do you turkey hunt as well, Bruce?
Yes, sir.
That's great.
I do a little everything. I did the United States Marine Corps for 8 years, and traveled around and did a little hunting out of state. Did learn a lot of things, bow hunting and everything, because a lot of places out of state don't have rifle season.
That's right.
So you have to use a bow or shotgun or the 2-week black powder. So
That's right.
mine mainly is it intunes your rifle season if you know how to kill a deer with a bow.
Oh yeah.
If you can get one with a bow, you pretty good with a rifle.
Yeah, it seems pretty easy with a rifle then. doesn't
Yes,
it?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, listen, going back to the fact that you were a Marine. Well, I guess you are
sir.
a Marine. There is no such thing as you were a Marine.
Yes,
you
sir.
are a Marine. We just want to
Yes,
say
sir.
thank you for your service.
amen.
Absolutely.
I
No
think
problem, sir. Thank
I've
you.
thanked you before, and I thank you again.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
we appreciate that sacrifice for sure.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Well, tell us a little bit about your hunting story. We got just a couple of minutes left. How did you get involved?
Well,
in that?
got involved. My dad and my family was a type of family that around Thanksgiving time was our time where all the fellows got together and went to the woods. And it's just been like a tradition from childhood up that, I'm coming from a hunting family and pass it on.
Sounds familiar. Sounds familiar.
Yes, sir.
Now, listen, I was glad to have somebody at the sawmill to talk to about hunting. I didn't always have somebody.
Yeah.
Well,
I killed quite a few good deer while I was working at the sawmill with you.
Yeah. We'd always celebrate those together.
Well, Bruce,
sir.
we sure thank you for your time. We thank you for being a guest on the show, and we hope you have a good, eventful turkey season, and
Yes, sir.
and that you don't miss one like Keith did a couple of years ago.
We still
He
talking
told me
about that?
Yeah, he told me about that one.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. He probably left out some details.
Hey, I got a new shotgun now.
He's got a new shotgun. He's ready to roll.
Just
now.
one out of what I need. One more gun.
Yeah, remember that show you did last week where you don't need that gun?
You
to
don't need
practice?
that gun.
You need to get out and practice. Heck, we all do. We all do.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank y'all very much. We appreciate it. And everybody take care, and we will see everyone next week.
Bruce, thanks for your time.
Okay, thank you, sir.